lines from other stuff that was buzzing here, so why would one call all of a sudden go?
Is this in here? Or is this just, you can leave it up. That's not mine. It's not yours? Okay. Just leave it there for them.
All right, everyone may be seated. Good morning. We are ready to proceed. Mr. Barry. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Investigator Yaro, welcome back. I wanted to ask you a few more questions from your testimony on Friday. We talked about an incident at the Wise County Jail related to Tanner Horner that occurred after he had been incarcerated, in which there was, I believe, an attempted suicide that you then investigated. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And as part of that investigation, kind of tell me just a synopsis of what you did.
The synopsis of the scene was I entered the cell. Horner had already been transported to the hospital at that time. My initial is just like any other scene. We're going to photograph the scene in its entirety. We're going to start by taking overall photographs. We're going to move to mid-range. We're going to move to close-ups.
Slow down a little bit. So you took a number of photographs?
I did, sir.
And prior to court today, did I look at some photographs?
Yes, sir, I did.
That were part of the photographs that you took that day?
Yes.
In addition to taking photographs, did you take some items into evidence?
I did.
And were some of those items documents?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically, what type of documents?
Handwritten letters, sir.
Okay. And may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Investigator Yaro, I am going to show you what has been marked in State's Exhibit number 276, 277, 278. There's no 279. There's no document for that. 280, 281, 282, 283, 284, and 285. Have you seen those today?
Yes, sir.
Are those photographs that you took at the time you were investigating this attempted suicide?
Yes.
And are they true and correct as to what they represent in those photographs?
Yes.
You also have the original documents with you if they needed to be entered for purposes of the record.
Yes, I do.
And are these photos, are they true and correct copies of the original documents?
Yes.
At this time, Your Honor, I'll offer into evidence State's Exhibit number 276, 277, 278, no exhibit for 279, and the 280, 281, 282, 283, 284, and 285.
Objections?
State's Exhibits 276 through 278 and 280 through 285.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I publish, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
first, I'm going to display State's Exhibit number 276. What are we looking at in State's Exhibit 276?
So that's the built-in bench within the cell, and on top of the built-in bench are the sealed letters that I recovered from the scene.
And did you lay them out in this manner, or were they that way when you took the photograph?
They were laid out in that manner.
Was there anybody else in that cell besides the defendant, other than the emergency personnel, that before you took these photographs?
No.
And if we look at these photographs, I'm going to ask you to go from the top to the bottom and read what the envelope says. Can you see that?
For Athena's family.
Okay, that's the first envelope.
Yes.
Second envelope.
Detectives only.
Okay. Third envelope.
It's to Legacy Church.
Okay. Fourth envelope.
And then to Melissa Horner and Jackie, I'm not sure the last name.
Okay. And then finally,
And then to Cassie something.
okay. So with regard to that, then those individual documents, did you take those things into evidence?
Yes.
Okay. And so now we're going to look at State's Exhibit number 277. Is that the evidence bag you collected those things in?
Yes, sir, it is.
And you have that actually with you today, correct?
I do.
All right. Now with regard to 278, we're now looking at just a more close-up photograph of the envelope to Athena's family. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And inside of that envelope, did it have a handwritten letter?
Yes.
So now we're going to look at 280. Okay, this is 280. Is this a true and correct copy of that handwritten letter, the front side of it?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask to be able to publish this record by reading it into the record.
Okay.
Thank you. To Athena's family, I wanted to start by saying how sorry I am about Athena. The entire time I've known my legal counsel, they've continued to tell me how I don't need to apologize, shouldn't apologize until the trial, and frankly, I can't hold it in any longer. I've done a terrible thing to your family, and I'm sorry. I can't tell you how many countless nights I've stayed awake, unable to sleep. I pray for you, for all of you. So many were affected by my breakdown. Not just your family, but my own as well. You'll never get to see your baby girl grow up, and I'm sorry. Now my son is going to grow up without his father and protector. I owe it to you all to explain where my mind is at. Let me start by saying that I have Asperger syndrome. In other words, I'm on the autism spectrum. I don't do well with change or things that are unpredictable in nature. When I first started out as a driver at FedEx, I was given a singular route, and that route wouldn't change for a while. After a bit, my employer started making random changes to my route, adding stuff from other routes, so they could make more money. I don't do well with change. Again, I can have meltdowns when unexpected changes to my daily routine happen. It was so bad one day I started to have a suicidal episode. I had to leave early that day or I was going to walk myself into oncoming traffic. The only thing that stopped me was thinking of my son growing up without his father. So I took off for a week and sought out help. I got put on medication and a week later I was back at work. I've let my employers know how I needed to keep consistent routine and I wouldn't have any issues. However, I was ignored. When I returned, they did the opposite of what was good for someone like me. They made me a floater. They put me on a different route every day, every time, going on to the next page. Now we're going to go on to State's Exhibit number 281. Is this a true and correct copy of the second page of that document, Investigator Yaro?
Yes.
Okay. May I publish, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
I reminded them that I needed to be on a routine. It was like it would go in one ear and out the other. My mental health started to steadily get worse because of it. I couldn't just quit either. I had a son and I had to take care of it. Then on top of all that, certain aspects of my home life started to fall apart as well. I guess they got sick of me constantly telling them I needed consistency because they sold me off to another company without me having any say in the matter. In hindsight, I'm starting to think they were attempting to get me to quit, which in retrospect was kind of scummy. After a while, with the new contractor I started with, Big Top Spin, my life started to kind of fall back into place. I got a car again, but I was still consistently stressed and had multiple minor meltdowns because even this new company had no regard for my mental health because they still refused to put me on a consistent route. The holidays came and my stress only multiplied. They forced everyone to work 6-day weeks as volume got higher and higher. It was all the wrong place and the wrong time. I'm sorry I allowed my mental state to be unstable. I'm sorry I took your little angel away from you. She didn't deserve it. You all didn't deserve it. My son didn't deserve to lose his father. My mother didn't deserve to lose her son. My fiance didn't deserve to have her wedding day stripped from her. I pray that my death eases your suffering in some way. The only thing I ask for, forgiveness, and for you to remember my son and show him some grace and mercy, for he no longer has his father. I love you all, and I'm sorry. Hannah Horn. Is that what it says?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now, with that envelope, was there also a smaller piece of paper inside of that envelope?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going to go on to State's Exhibit number 281. Is this the front side of that smaller piece of paper?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Side notes. FedEx Ground themselves are quite negligent when it comes to safety. They do nothing to make sure contractors' vehicles are actually road ready. Polaris and Big Topspin both tell their employees to lie under beginning and end of day expectation because it's a pain to unground vehicles. And then the backside also had some writing, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Now I'm going to go on to State's Exhibit number 283. I hope this letter both helps ease your suffering and helps with your case against FedEx. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I forgot one thing. I want to go back to the top of State's Exhibit 281. We did not read this part. It says, little asterisk says, just know I have found God through all of this. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Your Honor, we would ask that the state read everything. He omitted the closing.
I believe you skipped one line at the very end, just very.
at the very end. Oh, I apologize. I did write, I love you all, and I'm sorry. Okay, so with love and sorrow and remorse, I love you all, and I'm sorry, Hannah Horner. Is that the part? Susan? Now, in addition to this letter, the other letter I want to talk about is the one that said for detectives only, all right?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to go to State's Exhibit number 284. This is the envelope, is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
And inside of that envelope, did it have a one-page letter with that?
Yes.
And may I publish this, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Detective, my family is in danger. It's 2 days before my arraignment date, and I'm worried that I'll be killed either to or from my way to court. The day Athena was killed, I wasn't the only one involved. When I pulled up to the house, an older man had pulled a rifle on me and demanded my wallet. It's weird, he almost expected me to be there. After he checked my wallet, he gave me instructions after handing me my wallet back. He told me to take the girl and bring her to a specific spot, parentheses, the area with the tall grass bamboo, in parentheses. He gave me a change of clothes for the girl and told me to have her change into them before handing her over to him. He had threatened my family and I didn't know what to do, so I just went along with it. Don't tell the media, BTW. IDK if he's going to do something. If I'm killed on the way to or from the courthouse, I'll assume it was him. When I handed her over, she seemed like she knew him. It kind of freaked me out when she calmed down after seeing him. I shut my headlights off and followed them, and I saw him park his truck by that creek. The next day, I went by there after work and saw the girl's body. I put her body in the water. I needed to get this out, even if it was just in writing. Don't tell the media. Don't tell my family. They'll tell the media. Don't tell the family of Athena until after their lawsuit against FedEx goes through. This is between me and you, detective. As long as it stays between us, my family stays safe. I'll gladly keep the blame as long as they're safe. The man was older, probably 50s, gray hair, short military-style haircut, kind of fat, with a bit of upper body muscle. I handed him the girl's clothes when I gave him her. I either missed the pants or he put them back on the truck somehow. I'm not sure. But 3 times he asked me about the cameras on the FedEx truck. Unless y'all find him, keep it from everybody. I don't want my family hurt. I'm sorry I've been a burden on y'all. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
We can turn the lights back on. With regard to that, in one of those letters, is he taking responsibility?
Yes,
Which one?
the first.
What about the other one?
No.
Is he blaming it on somebody other than himself?
Yes.
May I approach again, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Yes, not yesterday, but last Friday, when you were testifying, we admitted a number of pictures of the clothing that you took out of the defendant's locker. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And I believe we admitted maybe one or two of those items. We didn't admit all of the ones that I had meant to admit. So I want you to look at a couple of things. State Exhibit number 227 can you tell us what? Do you recognize that person?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what it is?
This is going to be the suspect's underwear, sir.
Okay. And did you collect those and take them into evidence after you did whatever processing that you were going to do?
I did.
Okay. And what kind of processing did you do on them?
Collected more photographs in the lab, and then I also took swabs.
After doing that, did you seal them up in this package?
Yes.
And were they then later transported somewhere else, and there's some type of an opening on the bag to indicate that they were processed at a different location? Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, at this time, I'll offer the evidence State Exhibit 227.
Your Honor, we object as to relevance. This evidence was collected 3 days after the event, and there was no testimony that this was the underwear that he was wearing at the time of the incident.
Objection to Overruled. State's Exhibit 227 is removed.
Now, I'm going to show you State's Exhibit number 228. Can you tell me what that is?
Yes, sir. This is actually a long hair that I collected off of the inside of his underwear.
Okay. And was that also, appears opened later at a lab
Yes,
and looked at?
yes.
I will offer the evidence states exhibit 228.
We do have the same objections for all of these exhibits. If they're all, I'll let you, what I'm saying is if you have the same objections, you don't have to repeat it. I would just assume it's the same objection.
Well, I understand, Your Honor. The objection we have to this one is that this is, may we approach?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to offer, I'm going to withdraw our offer, Your Honor, State's Exhibit 228. Now, with regard to State's Exhibit number 2, started with 227, now I'm going to jump back to 226. State's Exhibit 226, do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
And what is State's Exhibit 226?
This will be the FedEx polo shirt that I collected.
Okay. And was that also processed by you, put into evidence, and sent later to a lab?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I will offer in evidence State's Exhibit 226.
Your Honor, that would be the same objections.
Okay. For, that you had for 227.
Correct, Your
Okay.
Honor, and I believe that will be for the next few items as well.
Okay. Those objections are overruled. States 226.
And then finally, I'm going to focus on State's Exhibit 229. Can you tell me what State's Exhibit 229 is?
Yes, sir. This is going to be the suspect's pants. It's going to be his blue jeans that were collected from the bag at the jail.
Okay. And these were what he was wearing at the time he was arrested, correct?
Yes.
I will offer State's Exhibit 229 in evidence.
Same objections.
Yes, Your Honor.
They're overruled. States Exhibits 229 are admitted. And you may have running objections to all of these.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I will pass you.
Cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. That first, Your Honor?
Yes, not on the record.
Yep. If you want to ask them something, you're fine.
Yeah, first witness, Your Honor.
Yes, absolutely.
going to hand you what has been marked as defense exhibits number 36 through 43, and I'd ask you to take a look at those.
Morning, Counselor. How are you today?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Here you go, ma'am.
As a part of your investigation into the suicide attempt at Wise County Jail, you didn't just take pictures of the letters involved, right?
Yes.
You took pictures of the entire cell.
Correct.
And on defense exhibits number 36 through 43, are those true and accurate representations of the cell as you saw it that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we offer states, I'm sorry, defense 35 through 43?
Okay.
Your
You
Honor,
said
Judge.
well, hang on, you said 36 to start out, is
I
it
did.
35?
It is 35.
35 through 43. Any objections?
Only to, I don't have the number, but the one that was taken at the hospital was not taken by this witness and was not, he doesn't, he can't.
That objection is overruled. Defense exhibits 35 through 43 are admitted.
You have published, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am. Three correct.
No further questions.
May this witness be excused subject to any potential recall?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objections.
Thank you, sir. You're free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Who do you have next?
Dave Rogers, Judge.
Is this one of the witnesses I need to do something outside the program?
Yes, Your Honor, you need a quick court iron on him, and then you have the